We continue on with the second set of group stage games. Group B, Iran beat Wales 2-0. But the big game everyone was hyping for, hyping up, especially in America, the huge game. USA England 0-0. Before we start, Imran, real quick, did it live up to the hype?
No, because I don't know, especially casual fans that are just like, oh, I just want USA to win. They expected to like with the way it was being advertised, like USA Wales, like I mean USA England, every game they were advertising that multiple times. And for the casual fans, 0-0, not good enough, not a good enough game. I thought it was kind of boring in the second half, not gonna lie. Like the latter part of the second half was kind of just I don't know, not entertaining enough, especially for casual fans. So I don't think it lived up to
Yeah, it was not entertaining at all. Hell no, it didn't live up to the hype. Just like last Euros when England played Scotland, the great Britain rival, I was hyping that up for months. That did not live up to the hype, and this was just the same. But I thought we were much better than okay, not much,
Yes.
but I thought
What a performance though.
we were definitely a lot better than England. But I'm honestly disappointed with the results. Like people were saying it's a great result, but I don't think so. Me personally, I don't think so. Because number one, I thought our performance deserved the 3 points. Number one, and number two, especially based on the result that happened with Iran and Wales, the point was actually honestly useless for us. And I really did not like the US mentality because the last 10, 15 minutes, you could tell that the draw was good enough for us. And I thought that was the completely wrong approach, especially when you could tell when Berhalter on that last free kick told them, don't go for the free kick, calm down, take it to the corner. You knew at that point we
Yeah,
were
that was
playing for
weird.
the
Yeah.
draw. When he was wanting to bring on Gio Reyna, when he brought on Gio Reyna and Josh Sargent for the last 7 minutes, like if we were gonna go for this game, and Aronson at the 79th, if we were gonna actually go for this game, we would have brought them on a lot earlier to actually try to get the result. And I definitely think that we were satisfied with the draw. Berhalter was satisfied with the draw, and I thought that was the completely wrong approach, knowing that knowing how well we played in the first half. Number one, and the start of the second half too. There was a period where we had like 4 or 5 straight corners in that second half. We were sustained
Yeah.
pressure. There was periods of sustained pressure that we had that England didn't have a single. Like I thought England's only set of sustained pressure was like the last 2-3 minutes where they were
In the
creating a
first half.
couple corner kicks and
Or
the first half they created a couple
no,
very,
actually
very good
not in the
chances, but
first half.
it was
No.
not really there
But
was no really
like there was like a
sustained
little
pressure.
period where I was like,
We didn't really
uh-oh.
have no sustained
And then the
pressure.
USA just got
They
back in the game.
they had more possession, but a lot of their possession was just passing it around from fullback to fullback, to the passing it up to the wingers,
Yeah.
sizing them up to fullbacks, trying to do something, but no real penetration. I thought England were honestly a disgrace. I thought they were awful. I thought they were toothless, gutless, and I honestly they proved to me why I think they're a very overrated team, and I think they're a team that will flop in this tournament. I think they're a round of 16 team unless the tournament opens up the way it's opened up for them in the past tournaments, and they end up facing a a bad team in the round of 16 and a Ukraine or something like that. It doesn't exist in this cup, but I'm just saying, like last tournaments, a Ukraine or
They could play Ecuador, or Senegal.
that's a good team. That's a good team. A Senegal, I would not trust Senegal. I don't think Senegal, but an Ecuador, yes. And Ecuador, I think will definitely be a quality team. A test at least. They don't have the big names, but a test. But yeah, I thought England were completely toothless, gutless. But at the end of the day, they got that point, and that point will be enough to win their group because they should beat Wales because Wales are basically out of it with not much to play for besides pride. And of course, in a Britain derby, they will bring it up. But to see them get all 3 points, I think I don't know. I think it'll be struggle, but definitely but I definitely think England should win that game. And for the US, I just thought the US were marvelous. I thought Tyler Adams was the man of the match. I mean, he was absolutely just like the first game, absolutely all over the. In some ways, he does remind me of Conte which I don't know if it's crazy or blasphemous to say, but I thought, and I'm a Conte fan, but I thought he was all over the pitch. I thought whenever Anthony Robinson got caught out that one time, the ability to get down the field, chase down Saka and make that tackle, I thought he was everywhere. Anytime a fullback or a center half was out of position, he was there to stuff it out. He was pressing at the right time. Anytime he had a sense, his instinct said to go press the ball and go win it, he was able to do it, and he'd always succeed. He has a very good footballing brain. His instincts are very, very good, and they work for him. And I thought Tyler Adams was absolutely marvelous. I thought Pulisic showed why he is our best player. I heard there was something on Twitter. The BBC commentators were saying, "Oh, why don't we see this Pulisic at Chelsea?" I mean, he don't play at Chelsea, so we don't play him at Chelsea. We play
But
Mason
also
Mount,
he
who is
has to take a
absolutely
chance at
dog
Chelsea.
crap, huh?
He has to take his chances at Chelsea too.
Yeah,
I feel
he
like
does.
he's been
But he does
underperforming.
get limited chances. But Pulisic, I thought he was marvelous today. And I thought he was very unlucky to not get that goal. I think we had the better chances in the game. I thought the McKinney chance and the Pulisic chance, even though the Pulisic chance was really something created by him, I thought those were the two best chances, hitting the post. And then that McKinney chance, he got to at least test Pickford. There's no excuses there. He got to at least test Pickford. I also thought Sergio Dest had another great chance. But overall, yeah, I thought US was marvelous. I thought we controlled the game. I thought we had a more sustained pressure throughout the game, and England were underwhelming. And good performance, but me personally, I'm disappointed in the result, and it makes it tough entering the last game, knowing that we have to beat Iran while Iran only needs a point.
Yeah. The question before the game was, are we just gonna sit back and let England do it, or are we just control the game? Are we gonna take the game to them? And we chose the second one. We took the game to them completely. I mean, from the first minute, we were just up for it. We created a lot of chances, like more than England, to be honest. I mean, as you've said, like the McKinney chance where I mean, like for me, I was like, oh my god, he almost scored that. Like that was a big chance. I thought we did a really good job of just not letting them get comfortable or getting the ball to the midfielders and attackers. I thought they were kind of invisible for the most part on the second and third phase of the game, and it was just a great performance overall. To be honest, you've covered most of it.
Yeah, for me, I was really frustrated with Berhalter not bringing in Reina and Aronson earlier into the game. I was very, very frustrated, and I wasn't frustrated with this, but as an English fan, I'd be very, very frustrated on Foden not entering the game. Foden, your most technically gifted player, not entering the game. I think there's a problem. Do you think Foden would get into the Brazil 11?
Yeah.
I think he.
On the right side, yeah.
I think he'd get it on the right side ahead of
Or even the
Rafinha.
middle, like a Cam, like,
I
and
think
Neymar would move somewhere up front.
no. I think he'd get in on that right hand side, cutting in as a left-footed player. And I think that's the only player in the English squad who even has a chance to make that Brazil 11. So yeah, I think it's honestly disgraceful how you have one of the most technically gifted players in the entire world, and you don't play him a single minute in a 0-0 game against USA, in a game crying out for somebody technically gifted to play in spaces to stretch a back line. I think that's absolutely awful from Southgate. And I think Southgate's conservative approach, when you play in the US, you should never ever be satisfied with a draw. And he said that in his post-game press conference, that we were good with the result because we thought a draw was good for us, because we know what the US has in transition, that's absolutely awful. And England's conservativeness and Southgate's conservativeness could be their downfall, and it's a huge, huge concern for them. So I thought in both coaches, I thought Berhalter, I thought his lineup was great, and I understood playing Haji Wright instead of Josh Sargent, because Josh Sargent is more of build up, more a finesse striker, while Haji Wright is someone who can more stretch the field. And USA wanted to play a transitional game against England, so I didn't mind that, but I did not like how USA didn't go for it at the end. knowing what happened in the Iran-Wales game, going for that win. And I did not like the withholding of the substitutions until very late in the game. So I thought both coaches, even though I thought Berhalter started the game off well with the lineup and all that and the good tactics, but I thought the lack of substitutions and the waiting of substitutions was a big problem. Real quick, when we talk before we talk about that penultimate USA Iran game that's gonna come up in the next stage of group stage games, I want to really quickly talk about Iran Wales. Iran getting the win. I thought Iran played much better than Wales. I thought Iran really dominated this game. I thought Wales had their run early. Wales had some of their chances early, but once they got out of that early applied pressure that they got from Wales, I thought it was smooth sailing, and Iran just needed someone to get it in the back of the net. And it took a wonder goal in the 98th minute after the red card, playing against 10 men for about 10-15 minutes, I think. But I definitely thought Iran were the much better team beforehand. I thought Iran, if there was any team that would win, it'd be Iran. Iran created much more chances. Wales had nothing going forward. Wales struggled to even build out, and Iran, every time they got the ball on the counter, it looked like they could do something, and it was just a matter of time, and it looked like it wasn't going to come, but it finally came out of a wonder goal, and it's really what Iran deserved, and really a good show of mental strength, knowing what they've gone through in their country and bouncing back after losing 6-2. I thought it was great from Iran and shows mental resilience that could that should scare the US a bit.
Yeah. I mean, from a U.S. perspective, you can say Iran were kind of lucky, like because although they created a lot of chances and they're the much better team, they still they didn't get to score until from that banger goal, and when they had a red card. So like, still though, I think they deserve the win. If you're gonna be fair to them, because they just created so many chances, and at some point they were gonna score, and
Okay.
it had to be that.
Yeah. Well, Wales, England is going to be a derby and all that. We know how these British derbies go. So that's going to be an exciting game. But the US-Iran game, the important game for the two, USA-Iran, USA wins, they go through. Iran, they need a draw. So the fact that Iran already only needs a draw, and Iran already under Carlos Queiroz just subconsciously are more conservative, are more a breaking team. I think that Iran is gonna bunker down, and they're gonna make USA break them down. And this is not going to be a transitional game like it was against England, or a game that USA is going to be more similar to that first half of USA Wales. Very similar, probably for 90 minutes. And can USA find the breakthrough? Because USA is not going to be able to get this team in transition. They will bunker down. They will have men behind the ball. USA will have to break them down individually. I do not think Iran could hurt the US in transition, especially the way they hurt Wales in transition, because US has shown under Walker Zimmerman, Tim Ream, defensive stability against England and even against Wales. Despite the sustained pressure, that defense didn't fold. We haven't conceded an open goal this World Cup. It took a penalty, a rash mistake. Apart from that, I do not think Wales has enough quality. I mean, Iran has enough quality to hurt US on the break. So I don't think that should be the main concern. I think the main concern is, can the US have creativity to break down this Iranian defense? And it takes it, once it gets that early goal, then if US can get that early goal, it completely changed the game, because it forces Iran to now come out of their shell and get a result and get a goal. And when that happened, well, look what happened against England, Iran. It went totally the opposite way. Iran is not going to be able to go after the game, because they'll leave themselves too open. So it really comes down to, can the USA find that breakthrough? And that's why I do not think the McKennie, Tyler Adams, Musa midfield three should be the way to go. I think you got to bring on some creativity. You got to bring on Giovanni Reina. You got to bring on a Brendan Aronson. I don't even know if Tim Weah is the way to go, because Tim Weah is great in transition, but I don't know. I don't know if he's more someone you should play in in a game where the other team is going to break it down. So I definitely should expect a lot more Brendan Aronson, a lot more Gio Reyna, players that can play in tight spaces, players that can create for others, because we kind of need to break down this Iranian team. And I think we will, because if you see what we did against Wales, we are able to control possession. We are able to apply constant pressure. So it really just comes down to us getting that goal. And I think one of our, Pulisic or somebody will be able to find the breakthrough, one of our main guys, because, well, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I think with the amount of pressure that we're going to play on Iran, the breakthrough will come.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I worry about from Iran really is like they might find like some random goal, like a set piece or something, where Taremi just scores. Like,
I don't know, because we've been
yeah, that's true.
defensively
Like
absolutely
we've been
phenomenal.
solid.
I cannot see Iran hurt us on the break. The way I see us not move on from this World Cup is a 0-0 draw. A 0-0 draw. It really comes down to us not being able to break them down. Because I think if we can get that goal, then I think it completely changes the game. Because then Iran is going to open up, and that's where things go wrong. Because you saw what happened in that Iran-England game. So if we can get that goal, I think it's a completely different game, and I think it'll be smooth sailing from there. But the longer it goes 0-0, the better it is for Iran, and the more pressure that comes on the US player, the more pressure that gets put on the US player's back. The longer it gets 0-0, the better it is for Iran, and the more pressure that gets applied on this US players and this US team, which keep in mind is the youngest team at this World Cup. So yeah, with a very lack of experience. So I think finding that goal, finding that creativity, being able to break down a low bunker team is the key in this game, which is why Gio Reyna, Aronson, Christian Pulisic, we need the most technically players on the field. We need guys that can play in tight spaces on the field more than people that can stretch our back line, because we're not going to really need much of that.
Yeah, I think Aronson should be in midfield. I don't think Reyna will play, to be honest, because I mean he's always one of the last subs. So
No,
Aronson over
if
Musavi.
Aronson is midfield, then I'd play. I know Tim Weah. For me, Tim Weah has been one of the standout players in these two games, but this is not a game for him. I'd play Gio Reyna on the right wing.
That could work.
Yeah, and bring on Tim Weah and Nate late if we're chasing the game, because he's just another guy that's
Would you play a striker?
Someone one-on-one. Honestly, Sargent, because he has a good hold-up play, and once you get the ball to him, it can stick. And he's out of the three strikers we have on this roster, I think he's more gifted at the ball of his feet. Ferreira and Haji Wright are more guys who can stretch the field. And I think Sargent is more of that finesse striker, someone who can play the ball with his feet. So I'd play Sargent.
To me, like going back to the to the England game,
I
feel like we should have moved down from right. Okay.
Or we could play Pulisic up top.
I was gonna say that about the
have
England.
Reyna and Weah, and bring Aronson in midfield. Play Pulisic up top, because that's really the most technically gifted three we have. If we have
also need a presence in the box.
Pulisic, Reyna, and Aronson. But yeah, we also need a goal-scoring presence. But I don't think Sargent gives us much of that at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, other than that header, like in the 9th, 10th minute, and
yeah, he's not much of a goal-scoring presence, honestly, that much either. So honestly, I would go with Pulisic over Sargent too. But
I wouldn't mind playing a striker.
To figure out. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing a striker, but if you play Pulisic up top, I think that'd probably be your best option too. Probably.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think we get it done though.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think we'll be able to find the breakthrough. I think it takes one moment of creativity, one goal, and I think we'll be able to find it. Because I believe that we will win, because we are the U.S. men's national team.
I've seen too much from this U.S. team, like the past 2 games, to say
seen too much.
You can't beat
Iran.
I've
seen too much positives, and at the end of the day, if you do not beat Iran, if you cannot beat Iran, I don't think you deserve to be in the knockout stages. Honestly, not saying Iran is not a good team. Iran is a very, very good, well-oiled team and good resilience to fight back after losing 6-2 to get that victory against Wales. But for me, you gotta beat Iran, or you're not worthy of making it around the 16. And I think
pressure is on though.
I think the pressure is on, and I think the US will. And if they don't, I think it's if they don't make it out, I think he had a good run. He got 2 trophies. He qualified us for the World Cup. He qualified us for the World Cup, which is not really something that's guaranteed nowadays. You can ask Bruce Arena / Jurgen Klinsmann that. But if he doesn't get us to the World Cup, to the round of 16, it's time to go Berhalter.
I'll praise him though. He
I'll
set up the
praise him
team
though,
so well.
because I've been
Set
impressed.
up the team.
He's been much better this World Cup than World Cup qualifiers in the past. There's
For
this
some
World
reason, we
Cup
used to be more
qualifying
negative
cycle.
in the qualifiers, but now in
Yeah,
the World Cup, we're like going for it.
yeah,
And I think his in-game management has to change. I mean, like,
yeah. His
as
in-game management. That's
that's
the
the
thing.
main thing.
That's
Like even the second half, like for Wales game, you were saying, "Oh, we should have done something different in the second half." This time, we actually responded in the second half. We didn't let England back into the game, and it's just the subs, man. Like 70 to 75th minute, you got to make a sub there
so.
and try to get Aronson, Reina, and everyone in there.
Real quick, is there a pathway? Because let's assume USA beat Iran, okay? Because
Okay.
USA has to beat Iran to move on in the group stage. All right.
Yeah.
Let's assume USA beat Iran. Is there a pathway for them to win the group with 5 points? England right now are at 4, I believe, which means well, a draw is not good enough because a draw would mean, so what's England's goal differential right now? 4.
Yes. +4. Yeah.
So that means USA will have to win by 4. No, we'll have to win by 5 because of goals scored 6. So a draw will not help them.
They have to
So
lose. England have to lose.
England have to lose to
And
Wales.
I don't see a way they lose to Wales. Wales are not good at all.
You don't see a way they lose to Wales.
And I feel like England
Yeah,
should respond after today.
I think Wales will struggle to win too.
Yeah.
So no pathway for that. Yeah, I don't see a pathway. Honestly, I can't see. But England could always surprise. England could always surprise us.
Usually beat the bad teams though. It's more the good teams.
All right. So I have England going on and USA going on, and you?
England, USA. Yeah.
All right, guys. That's it. Thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace out.